Welcome everybody to the Fall Open House. My name is Heather, coordinator of the. Before we begin, I just wanted to update you on what has been happening with. We are normally offering this as a full-time on-campus program, but due to the different restraints from COVID-19, we were able to adapt our program in order to meet the needs of our students and make sure that everybody could continue their learning. Currently, the program is being offered for the fall delivery in a. So students are attending classes both on campus and online. So we are very happy to say that our program is adaptable to meet the needs of our students through COVID-19. But we are looking forward to seeing more faces on campus and getting back to on-campus learning with our current cohort. So currently right now, campus tours are being offered throughout the year. If you are interested, as Kyle mentioned, the campus is open. We are available for in-person in mid-October. As well in-person program tours, which will be beginning in mid-November of this year. And virtual tours are always available, and we are happy to answer any questions that you may have. So talking about the program that I am part of, the Teaching English as a Second Language program, we are very happy to be offering this again this fall and moving forward in order to help students who are interested in learning to become teachers in ESL classrooms to adults. So some details about this program. It is a one-year graduate certificate program. So it is completed from September until April. So 8 months in total. It is a full-time program. And what we are doing is training our students to become teachers of English not only in Canada, but in any part of the world, focusing on helping individuals of all ages, from young children who are overseas to professionals in business who are newcomers to Canada looking to improve their English skills, and can range in various sectors of training, such as education, business, and politics. So as I mentioned, my name is Heather Cordero, and I am the coordinator of the TESOL Graduate Certificate Program. I am open to answering questions at any time. So if at any point after this fall open house session, you find that you have a question or you think of something that you want some clarification on, I am always happy and available to answer those questions for you. So let's talk about some of our program highlights. So Niagara College's TESOL Graduate Certificate Program is one where we are currently partnered with educational partners around the world and in the current community. Specifically, we work with community schools within the Greater Hamilton and Niagara area in order to help our students to observe and practice teach their skills that they're developing in their courses. What we want to make sure you're able to do and insight needed to teach both here in Canada as well as overseas. So understanding cultural differences, understanding different expectations in different social settings. We want to make sure that we are not only focusing on teaching here in the community, but also if you want to travel overseas. Our professional level program offers a practical focus and integrates technology-based learning. So we're teaching you not only how to teach in a classroom with, for example, a whiteboard and a dry erase marker, but we're going beyond that. We want to make sure that you're able to learn how to use technology so that you are completely mobile with your resources, with your lesson plans, with your curriculum, so that you can ultimately just travel wherever you need to go and you have everything you need at your fingertips. It's not a matter of having materials. You would have everything with you using cloud technology, ed tech. We do use iPads and tablets in the classroom, which I'll talk about more. But we really do have a heavy focus in integrating technology in the classroom in order to enhance the learning experience of the students. We also want to make sure that this applied learning offered through the practicums is something you can use in the real world classroom. So what we want you to develop in those practicums is not simply gaining enough hours to meet the standard of the program, but we want you to have variety. We want you to be able to see different things, teach with different levels, work with different instructors, so that you can then take that learning and take that information and be able to apply it to different settings that you would encounter within different ESL classrooms. Our program consists of 2 terms. In the first term, courses plus your practicum placement. And each one of these courses focuses on different areas. So TESOL 9001, English Language Systems. This is the course that focuses on the development of the English language and has a particular focus on grammar structures. One area that so many students feel a lot of anxiety about, we actually address this in this course to help you understand how different structures of English language are formed and how to teach those structures in a classroom. So this course is one where if you're worried about grammar, this is one that's going to help you, and that you may find grammar isn't quite as scary as you thought. Teaching methodologies is where we're going to take a look at how English language has been taught in the past and how it is currently taught in the present. What are the different ways in which language are taught? What works? What doesn't work? How can we combine these methodologies? And how can you develop your own teaching philosophy around how language is taught? Language acquisition talks about how individuals learn language. Individuals in different age ranges. So how do children learn language in comparison to an adult learning language? And then how is it developed when it is a second language that's being learned? Language acquisition also will address cultural and social aspects of language learning. And so this is one where you'll hear about things such as the difference between a child who does not speak English as their first language entering into a school system in kindergarten and how they would develop language in comparison to an adult who is relocating from overseas and now has to learn a language for the first time 50 years. So this is something very interesting and very knowledgeable for our students when they are entering into different ESL classrooms, because it will help you to identify some of the different barriers that a student may or may not face. Teaching Language Skills 1 is a course where we're going to focus on how to teach language through separate skills. So for example, if we are only teaching speaking, if we are only teaching reading, writing, reading, writing, listening, speaking, and grammar can all be taught as separate skills in comparison to teaching it as an integrated skills class. So what if you are now the teacher teaching all of those skills? What is the difference between the development of a lesson plan, the execution of those lessons? How do we ensure that we can evaluate receptive skills, such as listening and reading, versus productive skills, such as writing and speaking? Develop micro-teaching skills. So you will take and create small lessons and deliver them to your peers in order to fine-tune some of those teaching practices we want you to later develop in your second practicum during the winter term. Workplace communication and professionalism. This course is going to focus on the employment sector. So resumes, cover letters, things such as accreditations, what it is that employers are looking for when it comes to interview skills. These are all pieces that we develop in workplace communication and professionalism. You will also develop an e-portfolio. Your e-portfolio is actually an organic assignment that you will continue to develop in the second term as well, and hopefully continue to develop after. And it will contain important information such as your resumes, certifications, documentation, reflections on the technologies that you've used in our program, as well as artifacts of pieces that you've developed. This essentially is a showcase for an interview moving forward. Now, after the fall term, you come back for our winter term. And this is where we take what you've learned in the fall and we start to build on it more in the winter term in order to make sure that you have everything polished and ready and set so that when you graduate, you are ready to interview for those jobs. So teaching the skills too, you are going to take all of that information that you learned in the fall program about teaching separate skills as well as teaching integrated skills. And now we're going to start taking a look at how do we teach those skills within various programs. An English for Academic program in the college setting versus a LINC program in the newcomer setting. As well, we're going to be taking a look at what is the difference between teaching in a low-level English class versus a high academic level English class. So these are all pieces that you're going to focus on in teaching the language skills too. Curriculum and resource development. In this course, you're going to learn how to develop and create your own curriculum. So we're not going to have you, for example, just start to look for information on the internet. We want you to know how to create materials from scratch. We want you to know what it is each of these programs would be looking for within their curriculum and how you can bring in your own ideas and your own creativity in order to create an engaging lesson. These are pieces that we want you to focus on in curriculum and resource development in order to not only become an essential developer within a program, but also to lend support to other people within the ESL sector so that you can become part of that curriculum development community where ideas are shared and materials are also improved and enhanced through collaboration. Teaching with technology, for anyone who's afraid of technology, don't worry, because we have the best technology experts when it comes to ed tech in our program. We are able to show you how to use different technologies in different classroom settings. So for example, a classroom where every student has access to Wi-Fi versus a classroom setting where internet does not exist. We are able to show you how to use different forms of technology in order to enhance a classroom and enhance learning, not simply make it something new and something that hasn't been seen before, but something that has concrete evidence behind it to show that students can not only learn, but they can engage, and teachers themselves can then get immediate feedback on the progress of their students' language learning. These are tools that are much sought after within the ESL sector, and we're going to make sure that you are experts on these areas so that you can showcase that in an interview. Workplace communication skills and professionalism too. We're going to continue to work on those e-portfolios, but we're also going to continue to work in different areas of the LINC sector, as well as academic English preparation, in order to make sure that you have developed skills that are sought after by employers. We are in contact with different coordinators from different sectors who keep us up to date on what it is they want new employees to have. And so this course is very organic because we are constantly bringing in new pieces as well as new training modules and new certifications in order to make sure that when you finish our program, you are applying with these tools. Field placement 2 is when you are going to, field placement 1 and field placement 2 within our program. These are your practicum placements. This is you actually out in the field in a classroom with a teacher. In the first term, field placement 1, you are traveling to different ESL schools in order to observe. You are going into the classroom to observe different teachers in different levels with different types of students in order to gain knowledge on how curriculum is taught. It also allows you to become part of that classroom and to become part of the ESL community by networking with different teachers and coordinators. In the second term, field placement 2, this is where we're going to have you develop that curriculum and work with a mentor teacher in order to deliver ESL lessons to the classroom. So now you are a functioning teacher within that classroom. You are part of that classroom community. And again, you collaborate with your peers as well as your mentor teacher and your instructors in order to fine tune, polish, and perfect the information that you are going to deliver in those classrooms. The first term and the second term combined together do build off of each other, and they do work together in order to make sure that when you complete this program, you have every piece of information and all of the skills that you will need in order to excel within the TESOL field. There are many teaching opportunities in Canada. So for example, newcomers. There are plenty of newcomers who have arrived within the Hamilton area over the last couple of years, as well as the Niagara area, as well as many other areas within Ontario, as well as British Columbia, as well as Saskatchewan, where we have a need for LINC instructors. And LINC, L-I-N-C, stands for Language Instruction for Newcomers to Canada. In Hamilton, for example, there is currently a wait list of newcomers wanting to go into LINC programs. It is an area where they are looking to the schools. And as that process is being completed, I have been told by the coordinators that this is an area where teachers are going to be needed. And so LINC is one area that we really do focus on within our program, because there seems to be so much input from the coordinators about how to best train students in order to enter into this area. LINC programs tend to be filled with newcomers who have a lot of educational background, have a professional background. What they are here for is to improve their language skills in order to enter into the employment sector, as well as enter into different areas of education eventually. Newcomers in these programs are permanent residents and conventional refugees. Children of newcomers are in the school board system, but the LINC programs are specifically molded for the adults. They do tend to run at the same time as the school system, so that newcomers with children can attend classes while their children are in school. Private language schools are also up and coming within the Southern Ontario area, and they are made up of different private schools that are focused on for both teenagers and adults. They usually specialize in specific areas of ESL, such as business English. I know that nursing programs are also popular, as well as high school English for teenagers. Colleges and universities offer English for academic preparation programs. The number of international students studying in Canada currently is over 300,000. Many of them do take English classes in order to prepare for their post-secondary programs. So colleges and universities are another area that you might be interested in. And then there's always the private lessons in online teaching. So graduates of our program would also have the opportunity to create their own businesses, to create their own tutoring programs in order to work one-on-one with potential students or in groups of various ages. There has been a huge increase in the number of tutoring and private lessons in demand within the area because of COVID, and because online tends to be the easiest way for students and instructors to connect. So this is another area that you might be interested in. In addition to the opportunities that are available in Canada, there are opportunities to teach abroad. So for example, you could be teaching in a post-secondary program overseas. If you're interested in going to Japan, to China, if you're interested in going to Taiwan, Spain, Brazil, Ecuador, these are all areas that you could enter into the post-secondary programs there and work with teenagers, for example. There are private language schools available overseas as well that are recruiting, public school systems, and international businesses looking to help improve the English language of their employees. So many different teaching opportunities are available abroad. Currently, the 10 best places to teach abroad in 2021 are China is number 1, South Korea, Japan, Vietnam, Thailand, Taiwan, Spain, France, the United Arab Emirates, and the Czech Republic. So these are currently areas that have been hiring ESL teachers, and these have been rated the 10 best places to teach if you are interested in traveling abroad. Many of our students have finished our program and have entered into the ESL industry. We have a number of students who have moved into private teaching, private tutoring. We have students who are employed within the LINC sector. We have a few students who got employed in the college areas. These are different areas that students have been able to connect with as a result of their placements and the networking that they have done in our program. We have a wonderful employment rate currently within this program due to the number of areas that we're able to network our students with. So if the TESOL program is something that you're interested in, your next steps would be to talk to a student recruitment officer, or for example, connect to one of our virtual information sessions or book an on-campus tour. Or as I said before, you are always welcome to reach out to me. I am more than happy to answer questions at any time about our program. We look forward to meeting many new students in the fall of 2022 as we start another session of our program. And thank you very much for taking the time to join us today. Thank you.
To put them on the spot, because I seem to be good at doing this, I'm gonna throw this over to Heather and Sean. I was wondering for either one of you, if I was looking at teaching English as a second language, if it was something that I was maybe considering to further my career, or maybe even if it's, you know, a new job opportunity, who am I working with? What are the goals here? Who am I trying to help? And if I were looking at the type of people that I get to meet through this, what does that profile look like?
So the type of students that you would be working with, it would vary. So if you were working with students in the newcomer industry, you're working with professionals, you're working with people who have education and families and establishment in their home countries who have chosen to come to Canada for various reasons. They are coming in order to improve their language within LINC sector, for example. But what you really are working with are people who are eager to learn. You're working with people who are passionate about doing something new, learning a new language, meeting new people, understanding a culture, and really connections with people in Canada. And you ultimately are that starting point for them. So you are representing more than just your classroom. You are the first impression of Canada for many newcomers coming into the country. And so it really is a great opportunity to not only teach newcomers about language and about the community, but it's also a great opportunity for you to learn. These people who are in your classrooms are people who can help to expand your own understanding of the world around us. They can tell you about the culture they're coming from and from the country that they're coming from. They can teach you their own language, which has always been very, very interesting for me. In the academic side of it, so for example, with students who are coming into the colleges to improve their English before they move into their post-secondary program, again, you're in a classroom full of students who are eager to learn. They are there because they have goals in order to be successful academically, as well as networking and understanding a new culture within the college and university sector. They are very much eager to understand and to advance their studies. And you find that you're working with students who really go above and beyond the expectations that you set in your classroom. Whether you're in the newcomer sector or whether you're in the academic sector, you are working with teachers who are passionate about what they do. They have been teaching, some of them for only a few years versus others who have been there for over 25 years. But the passion doesn't change. You're working with people who have various experiences, are happy to collaborate in every situation, and really can help further your learning much more than you could if you just tried to read about it. To actually experience it and be immersed in it allows you to get that experience. That help?
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Again, we have great contacts. We have a great resource there. So hopefully students will be able to reach out going forward. And if we can help anybody else between now and that February deadline to apply, we're more than happy to help. So please keep in touch. Please check for program availabilities consistently, and hopefully we'll see you at NC before too long.
Thank you, Kyle.